Hi, my name is Brad, and in this video we're going to learn how to use the landscape editor, and we're going to learn how to create and edit terrain. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm using the July 2013 version of UDK, free download from udk.com. In order to get started, I like to use a blank map. So I'm going to go up here in the upper left-hand corner, and we'll click on Create New Level. And I'm not going to use any of these pre-made ones. Let's choose Blank Map. And there comes up my blank map. I'm in my perspective viewport. And I'm going to start by clicking on the Landscape Editor over here on the left side. So I'll click the Landscape Editor, and this comes up. And then it asks me, it wants to know what size do I want to make my map. Now, in order to know what numbers I would like to put here, there's some recommended sizes. Let me show you where to find those. What I normally do is I'll go into Google, and what I'll do is I'll just Google UDK landscape, and and usually it's the first or second link that comes up here. It's this landscape.html. I'll click on that. Brings up the landscape page, and then down here where it says Creating Landscapes, I'll click on that. And here's the Creating Landscapes rollout, and then it says Recommended Landscape Sizes. I'll click that. It takes us right there. And here's the sizes that we can use over here. I like to use this 255 by 255 when doing a demonstration. It's just a nice large, it's a rather large terrain, but it's a good size for us to use. So that's where I'm going to, those are the numbers I'm going to use. Pull that off to the side. Come back here, and in the size, type in 255 by 255, and it fills in the rest of the information there for us. And then down here below, I click on Create Landscape. So it creates a landscape. I'll pull my editor over just a little bit here, and I'm going to zoom out because I'm in really close here. So I'm going to right-click so I can orbit around, and then I use my WASD keys to zoom out here a little bit. It gives me a little bit more. I can see it a little bit better here because I'm working on kind of a small space since I'm making this video. And if I would like to edit my terrain, the thing that I would do here, I start off over here, Paint Tools. These are my different brushes that I can use. And then as we scroll down here on the Landscape Editor, you'll notice I have Tool Strength, which means how high is the terrain going to raise up. And then over here I have the brush size. You can see I have the brush size here, and then the brush fall off. And that's what the inner and outer rings are for. So the inner ring is going to give you the full strength, and then the outer ring is going to be the fall off. It means it's kind of going to smooth it between the two rings, in between the two rings there. So if I'd like to just create some terrain or edit it, I'm going to hold the Control key, and I'll just drag around. Now it's kind of hard to see here. You can see it where the lines of the checkerboard are. But if I'd like to really get a good look at it, I'm going to click on the wireframe mode up here. And now you can see how I've taken the terrain and really started to sculpt it. So I'll do a little bit more here. I'll hold my Control key and just kind of click all around, and wherever I drag, that's where it's going to raise the terrain. So that's kind of neat. Now, it's made it really, you can see, it's just really steep terrain in some places. Even though I had some, I had a fall off there, it can be kind of steep, and I'd really like to smooth that off a bit. Before I do that, let's even take a look. What would this look like if I had a, just for like what the size is going to be? Let's click on the content browser. Let's go into Actor Classes, and let's add a vehicle in there right now. So I'll take the Scorpion, and I'm going to throw a Scorpion in there just so you have an idea about what size this terrain really is. And so now I can close that. So there's the size of it, and when we go back into unlit mode, there's the Scorpion, and you can see if I zoom way out here that it's pretty small. So it's a pretty large terrain here that I'm using. So now why am I not able to actually see any of the lines that I've created? Well, it's because I don't have any lighting in there yet. So if you'll notice when I click on lit mode, it goes completely dark on me. So I'm going to create a couple lights in here just to get started. I'll close my Landscape Editor. And then I'll hold the L key and click on it anywhere on the surface. I'll pull it up, and as I pull it up, oops, that's not up, there's up on the blue axis. As I pull up, you'll see that there's a little bit of light shining right there. So I'm going to tap the space bar until I get my scale mode, and then I'll just pull up on any of these axes, and it starts to scale the light up. and then I can move the light up even a little bit more there to make it shine a little bit more all over the place. And oops, and that looks good. And then I'll pull back a little bit, and if I'd like to have a little bit more light there, I'll add another light to it. And what I can do is I can either copy that light or create a new one. I'm going to copy that light. I seem to have lost it, so I'm going to come up here to the Find Actors. It's the little binoculars icon. And since it's the only light in my scene, there it is, point light, I'll just simply double click it, and it selects my light. There it is. And I'm going to zoom out again here just a little bit. And then I'll simply pull it, holding my Alt key and dragging it. And there, that makes two lights. And so now I've got some good shadows going on. So you can see what it looks like here. All right. The next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to edit this a bit because, like I mentioned, the sides are kind of steep. If I'd like to smooth out the terrain, I'll go back into my landscape editor. And here, what I'll do is I'll choose the next one. We did the paintbrush last time. This time, let's do the smooth brush. So I'll take this, and once again, holding my Control key, as I click and drag, you'll notice that it smooths out the terrain. So everywhere that I drag over this, it kind of smooths out the seams, and it makes it so it's not so steep. It kind of blends together all of this area right around here. So I'm going to smooth off some of these areas. Now I haven't let up on the click yet. I've just held my left mouse click button down the whole time, and so it smooths it. But if I would like to get it even smoother, I'll just let up on the click and click it again, and it makes it even more smooth. So I get this nice smooth terrain all over wherever I drag the paintbrush over. So, and if you've got any especially rough places, you can just kind of click and drag and smooth them out. So, all right, now this my scorpion was actually sitting on the terrain last time. Now that I've smoothed it, the terrain probably got lowered down a bit. So look, my scorpion's hanging up in the air there. So the way to fix that, let's close my landscape editor first of all. The way to fix that, I'll select my scorpion, and if I just simply click my end button, by clicking the end button on my keyboard, it just drops the scorpion right onto the mesh there. So for the most part, it drops it onto it. But then when I play it, it will actually just kind of fall just a little bit onto there. So, all right, so that's how you create and edit the terrain in landscape mode. And I guess a couple other things here is that you can adjust the tool strength so that it will, if I do some more painting and I click, it'll really raise it up. And every time I click, it will raise it up again and again until you get a really large mountainous area. And once again, I can take it and even smooth this down as well as I'm working with it. I also have areas of flatten where whatever I'm hovering over at that time, that's the height that's going to make everything that I hover over. So I'm going to choose this height right here, hold my Control key, and then I will click and drag, and notice now everywhere I drag, it makes that area the same height. And then once again, I can go back and smooth off those edges if I'd like to, and kind of smooth them off a little bit. Alright, so you can play around with these tools and just kind of get used to them. Play around with the tool strength, play around with the brush size, and you'll see that here's the brush size, but then if I take it and make it really large, really small, and then the brush fall off also, you can see how that adjusts as well. So, and that's creating and editing terrain. In the next video, we'll show how to make terrain materials and how to add them onto here. Thanks for watching.